This is the Aqara U400 smart lock, and I bought this specifically to use with hands-free unlock using Ultra Wideband and with Apple HomeKit using Matter over Thread. For the better part of a decade, I've been using the Nest Yale Lock, and it served me pretty well over that time. However, it has started to show its age. Besides needing the Nest Connect as a completely separate hub to communicate with Wi-Fi, and the confusion still requiring two apps, the Nest app and the Google Home app, I've also had to fully reset that lock a couple of times in the last year. So I figured it was time for an upgrade, and why not go with something with a few new features. The Aqara U400 has the two features that I wanted most in a new home lock: the hands-free ultra wideband access and the ability to integrate fully with HomeKit without needing to use a third-party application. That does mean there's a couple features I won't be able to use, like the fingerprint sensor on the front of the lock, which requires the Aqara app. And I'm okay with that because I really just want to keep things simple for myself and my family. You can get the Aqara lock in a couple colors and even versions. The version I have here is the deluxe kit, which is only sold at Apple and has a couple of differences from the others you might find on Amazon or directly from Aqara. And that is, it comes with two batteries instead of just one, which means you can have one battery fully charged and ready to go when it's time to replace the battery. Without the deluxe kit, you get a single battery, and there's a USB-C port on the front and back of the lock that allows you to hang a USB-C battery to it to charge. The other difference with the deluxe kit is that the front faceplate is actually all metal, and I believe the other ones might be more plastic. Other than that, they should be pretty much the same. So let's go ahead and take a look at what's inside. The first thing you'll find is the inside portion of the lock that includes the rotating switch to actually lock the door and the smarts. There's also the outside portion of the lock that has the number pad and the things that you'll interact with the most. And if you actually slide down the front panel, there is an actual physical key slot that you can use as a backup. The deluxe kit, you will see that there are two batteries, and it's easy to install them. You just raise the front panel on the inside portion and slide the battery in. There's a bag of screws and bolts. There's a mounting plate for mounting the lock to your door. Then there's the lock bolt itself, the strike plate, a pair of keys for access, and a little template piece in case you need to make changes to the physical door itself. And of course, there's plenty of instructions and information on how to mount and install the lock. If your existing lock already uses the oval with flat sides design, then the installation should be pretty simple without modification. Once you fully remove the old lock, go ahead and insert the bolt for the new lock and screw it into the door. Next, take the outside piece of the U400 and slide the cable underneath the bolt through the door. Then align the posts with the holes in the bolt and slide that through. Now on the inside, you're going to take the mounting plate, slide the cables underneath that, align the mounting plate, and then screw that in. This is your opportunity to level the lock and make sure the outside is where you want it. Next, you got to do a little finger jujitsu to actually connect the cables to the inside portion of the U400, and that can be a little bit tricky. Just give it a moment and you'll be fine. The trickiest part for me was figuring out that you actually had to push the excess cable inside the door frame so that the inside portion of the lock can actually sit flush with the mounting plate. And now you can secure the inside portion to the mounting plate, and that will complete the actual installation of the lock itself. Now you're ready to do the setup by inserting the battery and pressing the setup button to get started. Inside Apple Home, you're going to add a new accessory, and then go ahead and scan the bottom code shown on the door. The top one is for the Aqara app, which I'm not going to do. Apple's going to recognize that this is a lock and start the configuration for you. This will take just a couple of minutes, so while it's doing that, let's go ahead and do the lock calibration. To do that, you're going to be outside with the door closed. Just press the lock button, and you will hear the lock and unlock just to make sure it all works. Now we can continue with the Apple Home app, where it's going to ask you if you want to add it to an existing room or create a new room. Once you select your room, you can actually give the lock a name like front door or entry or whatever you like. And next, it's going to show you that it is creating an Apple HomeKey for you, which will be stored inside your Apple Wallet for your iPhone and your other devices as well. Think of HomeKey as a digital key for your home. It's an encrypted item on your phone that authenticates you to the lock. The next item on the setup is going to ask you to enable Express Mode. Express Mode is the ultra wideband hands-free mode that allows your door to be unlocked without even taking your phone out of your pocket or your bag or whatever. Next, you need to set up an access code, which is, I guess, a backup or a failsafe. If you don't have your device or for some reason your device is not unlocking the door, you can always just use your PIN number. Next, it wants to know if you want to add it to any existing automations. I'll just go ahead and skip that for now. Next, it's letting me know that there's actually an accessory update available through HomeKit, which is great because I don't want to install another app to do firmware updates, and HomeKit will provide those for me. And now you're all set and your lock is ready to go inside HomeKit. Now, when I walk up to the door, the Ultra Wideband will sense my device and sense me coming and unlock the door automatically, which is awesome. Hands-free unlocking really is pretty nice because if you're coming in from outside, it's raining, it's dark, you're not fumbling around for your phone trying to find your keys or whatever. You just walk up to the door, it unlocks, and you're in. And because the HomeKey syncs to all of your devices, it works with your Apple Watch as well. So you can leave your phone at home, go for a walk, and when you come back to the door, it will automatically unlock, I think with Series 6 or later Apple Watches, as long as it has Ultra Wideband. You also have the option to use tap to enter if Ultra Wideband is not working or you didn't set it up, to where you can just use the HomeKey in your phone, tap your phone to the lock like you would with Apple Pay, and the lock will open up. This also works with your Apple Watch. Using the Apple Home app, you can lock and unlock the door at any time. It's a quick flick of the thumb up or down to lock or unlock. It's generally pretty darn fast, although I have seen it have a few second delay a couple of times. Of course, you can always use Siri to lock and unlock the door as well. Hey Siri, unlock the front door. In the settings for the door lock, you'll see a couple of items, including the battery level and whether it's charging or not. If you tap on approach direction, you can see that Ultra Wideband can look for you coming straight on, from the left or from the right. And if you're seeing some kind of issue where you're walking around the house and somehow it unlocks for some reason, you can always disable one of those options to see if that fixes it. You have the option to enable automatic lock. So after the door unlocks, you can have it automatically lock itself after 30 seconds, 5 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever you want in those settings there. And this is where you can manage user access as well. If you already have other users inside your Apple Home as it is, they'll get a prompt inside the Apple Home app to go ahead and configure their lock and their HomeKey, which is pretty easy to follow along with. You can also invite somebody to your home as a resident or a guest. If you invite them as a resident, they're going to get access to all of the things in your home, your lights, your locks, everything. When you add a guest via home, it uses their iCloud information to create them a HomeKey that then works for your devices. You can choose what you want them to have access to and choose a schedule for them to be able to access those things, whether it's anytime, specific days, dates and times, whatever. If you just want to create a PIN code for somebody to access your home without inviting them to your home in some way or without giving them a HomeKey, then you could just go ahead and create PIN code access, give it a name, create a code, and then that code is available to unlock the door from the front whenever you need them to. And the last thing to do is set your status and notification settings, whether or not you want it included in home summaries, and whether you want activity summaries or notifications at all. And that's pretty much all you can do with the Aqara U400 and HomeKit by itself. If you want additional features like the ability to use a fingerprint sensor or a button on top as an action button, then you will need to install the Aqara app, which I'm not interested in doing. Again, I wanted this to be as simple as possible for myself and my family, all in the Apple Home ecosystem without needing anything else. And this is doing exactly what I needed to do. Overall, it's been a couple of weeks since we got rid of the Nest door lock and replaced it with the U400, and I've been pretty happy with it. My family's been content with it as well. Everybody's using hands-free ultra wideband access to get in the door. We've tested it with friends and family, and everything's been going very smoothly. I love how everything is configured inside the HomeKit app. My wife can do it without needing to download additional apps from Google or Aqara or whoever. And it's just going to make things easier going forward when we have house guests and things like that. So, do you have any questions about the Aqara U400 lock and how I'm using it, or HomeKit or anything like that? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm gonna have some more HomeKit videos and other things coming out very soon, so definitely hit subscribe if you're interested in that. If you like this video, you're gonna love this video too. It's a good one. Hit the thumbs up if you liked it, hit subscribe if you want, and I'll see you next time.